Okay, this next question, the key word in this is factorise. So that tells me I'm going to have to put it into brackets. So first of all I need to decide how many brackets I'm going to put it into. At first glance it looks like I might only put it into one because it doesn't have three terms, a squared term, an x term and a constant at the end. However, when I look at it, it is actually a special type of quadratic. It's called a difference of two squares. The x is squared and 16 is a square number, and we're looking at the difference between those two. So I am still going to put it into two brackets. To make sure we get our x squared, at the start of the bracket is going to be x, and then to make sure we get our 16, what we have to do is square root the 16. The square root of 16 is 4, so that's going to be our number that goes within the brackets. And to ensure that we don't get left with any x terms, we need to make sure we plus the 4, but then we also minus it to negate it in the middle, and we'll end up with 0x. For the second part of the question, I'm going to use what I did in the first part of the question. So I know that x squared minus 16 from my first bit can be written as x plus 4, x minus 4. So what I'm going to now do is factorise the 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. In order to do that, I'm going to use a method called splitting the page. So what we do here, 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. We call the coefficient in front of the x squared a, we call the coefficient in front of the x b, and the constant we call c. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to multiply a by c. 2 times minus 12 gives me minus 24, and I'm then going to list the factors of minus 24. We can have 1 and 24, knowing that one of them will have to be negative as well. We can have 2 and 12, and again either the 2 or the 12 could be negative. 3 and 8, and the last ones are 4 and 6. What we now need to do is look at all our factors and see whether we can find 2 that would sum to be minus 5. Minus 1 and 24, we're not going to get to minus 5. Doing it the other way still wouldn't help us. The same with 2 and 12, so I'm going to look at 3 and 8. If I do 3 minus 8, I get minus 5x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split minus 5x into 3x minus 8x. I don't change the value of it, I just change the way that it looks. And then when I rewrite that, what happens is I get 2x squared plus 3x minus 8x minus 12. And here's where we split the page, because now all I have to do is put the left hand side into one bracket and the right hand side into the other bracket. 2x squared plus 3x. I can't take out a numerical factor, so my number that I can't take out a numerical factor with 2x squared and 3x. However, I can remove the x. That leaves me with 2x plus 3 within the bracket. Now what I'm aiming is that this will be the same in this bracket, so let's check. What are the factors of minus 8x and minus 12? I can have minus 4, and that will go into 2x plus 3 in just the same way. Now if I factorise this, I can factorise the 2x plus 3 and the x minus 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that instead of 2x squared minus 5x minus 12 within my fraction. 2x plus 3, x minus 4. Now what we can do is look at our fraction. Is there anything that's being multiplied and then divided? If something's multiplied and then divided, that negates each other, therefore we can cancel through by them. So on the top we've got x plus 4, x minus 4, and on the bottom we've got 2x plus 3, x minus 4. So what we can do is we can cancel through by x minus 4, leaving us with our simplified fraction of x plus 4 over 2x plus 3.